This is Terry Kurtz Online reporting on Victor Valley, High Desert, and Mojave River Valley events, activities, entertainment, sports, and history. There is no restriction on aggressive driving and friction in the restrictor class of speedway sprints at Victorville's Wheel to Wheel. Evidence abounds in these highlights of racing the 4th of July, the annual Firecracker Derby at the 1/8 mile dirt track. In this first heat race of the holiday, Lila Bonham holds the lead from her pole position, followed by a battalion of mud-spattered intermediates. These are the youngest and least experienced drivers. This Independence Day would belong to the Apple Valley 12-year-old. The second-year racer in her white number 4 wins every time she gets behind the wheel. Lila Bonham's stay-out-in-front status obvious by the fact that she is the only racer whose car is not covered with mud. Leading the pack behind her, 56 Georgia Carucci. Kayla Pollard races the striped 21. Green dollar sign is Cash Culp at 6, the youngest racer in this heat race. Charlie Sabers in her orange multicolored 6, she is age 11. Lila Bonham crosses under referee Dwayne Oros's checkered with Kayla Pollard in second. 5 more intermediates venture out in heat race number 2, the 7-car, 8-year-old Trent Johnson. Hot on his wheels, 31, Alyssa Smith. Smith will bolt to the forefront on the backstretch, and once the Norco 13-year-old gets in the lead, it's very difficult to overtake her. The Animal, Cart 17, David Carpenter, now up and into second place. And as carts are about to leave the track, Stevie Rogers in her 3 cart slides into Alyssa Smith. Rogers will be shaken up and will not return to the track this night. First heat race for Pro 500 Speedway Sprints, John Aiden, White 7. Brian Struder's Blue 10, 39, Gray Cart, Buck Blair, whose night will end prematurely in the main. John Aiden has been trying for back-to-back trips to the winner's circle in the main event. The second Pro 500 heat race of the day, 86 is Eric Jackson up from Long Beach. Red 35 with gold lettering, Eric Englert. 57, Jeff Hines, back after a leave of absence. Keep an eye on All Red 3, Kim Sullivan, long-awaited return to Wheel. Tremendous amount of experience among these drivers. It is Jackson, 2009 Rotax Senior National Go-Karts champion with 8 championships in karting, winning the heat, holding off Kim Sullivan. These are the restrictor plate race kart drivers. This class is becoming the most heated as a just-turned 12-year-old Austin Brundage in white number 3, 13-year-old Jason Perky, bright green 20, and a 17-year-old girl, Sophie Riley, in 18, step up to their game in gaining ground in attempts to overtake 30-year-old Daniel Bennett in season points. Bennett in bad black 29. In the second heat race of the day among restrictor class drivers, Austin Brundage is spun around by Daniel Bennett. In the first restrictor heat race, Austin Brundage led from start to finish, Daniel Bennett finishing second. This is the second restrictor heat, the one where you saw Austin Brundage get spun in the first lap. Here we have 2 laps to go. Jason Perky is in the lead. He and Sophie Riley virtually neck and neck. Perky holds the lead under the 1 lap to go white flag. Sophie Riley bumps him aside in turn 2 to take the checkered. Austin Brundage finishes second, Jason Perky third, and Daniel Bennett fourth. Here is the first of the main events. The intermediate main, Lila Bonham has earned the pole position. Alyssa Smith, 31, up high in the first row. 17 behind Lila Bonham. David Carpenter, 21, the wild child, Kayla Pollard in her black and white stripes. White 9, Corbin Sabers. 10 intermediates in the main, and they get a little tangled up out of turn 1. Lila Bonham is not affected already with a substantial lead over Corbin Sabers and Kayla Pollard as Alyssa Smith drops out of sight. On the restart, it is Lila Bonham, Corbin Sabers, Kayla Pollard. 56 is Georgia Carucci. Kayla Pollard tries to close the gap, coming wide behind Corbin Sabers, Lila Bonham maintaining her lead. The 12-year-old out of Apple Valley continues applying the pedal to the metal and brings home the Firecracker Derby first-place trophy. Her 2 victories in heat races and this victory in the main catapult Bonham past 4 others and into 3rd place in season points. Here come the Pro 500s. 35, points leader Eric Englert, last season's restrictor class champion. He's alongside wily veteran Kim Sullivan, 3. The red flag comes out when Buck Blair nearly climbs over the wall, ending his night. Restart, the field reduced to 9. John Aiden starts row 2 up top and wastes no time edging himself past Eric Englert and into a lead he shall not relinquish. As this restart shows, John Aiden readily and immediately sets his white number 7 apart from the rest of the field. It will be Eric Englert second, Kim Sullivan third. For John Aiden, a second consecutive victory in the Speedway Sprints Pro 500 main, barreling him into the lead in season points at the midway mark of the season. We're one to ask the wheel-to-wheel trackmeister, though. John Aiden might say he's more proud of the increasing number of dirt carts coming out to compete in their inaugural season. Dave Turner in 36 winning the Dirt Carts main at the Firecracker Derby. Here is the main in the black and blue rough and tumble restrictor class, and compared to the wheel-to-wheel combat and the heat races, the main may seem relatively anticlimactic. That is thanks to Sophie Riley. The Castaic teen has her number 18 at its best, leaving the tougher competition between Jason Perkey, Austin Brundage, and Daniel Bennett for second and third place points. Sophie Riley coasts to her second main event victory in a row and moves atop the leaderboard in season points. Daniel Bennett comes in second, Austin Brundage third.
Terry Kurtz Online was brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville on the corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Road.
Sold.
Bid fast and last. Sold on supporting High Desert Sports. Valu Quality Truck Body. Family owned and operated since 1954. The Bradco Companies, our area's longest standing full service commercial brokerage firm. Ewan Zach Law Firm. Trial lawyers for serious problems. And by the Community Table Restaurant in the Holiday Inn in Victorville. The Holiday Inn, favored destination for travelers and visitors to the Victor Valley. Terry Kurtz here, throwing out an invitation for you to catch up with High Desert Sports activities. Your High Desert Sports Report, showing 3 times every day on Victor Valley TV. 7 and 11 every morning, 4 every afternoon.
What time is it, sports fan? It's time for your High Desert Sports Report.
Wheel to Wheels, July 4th Firecracker Spectacular. 3 deep, heated heat races, 105 degrees at race time. A wily veteran's last lap checkered flag. A surprising, bold challenge by Bakersfield Mini Dwarfs. No surprises in the Pro 500 main. 12 dirt cart seniors, they race to an entertaining end, down to the last lap main. Defending dirt cart seniors track champion Wild Bill Martin, gunning for a 3rd consecutive checkered in the main. Todd Brown, white 41, first time behind the wheel of a dirt cart. Todd Brown challenging Wild Bill early and often, and in fact taking over the lead 4 laps in. The challenger out of Glendora, Todd Brown, stays in front for the next 7 laps of the 12-lap main event until up jumps the Fox. Wild Bill Martin, the wily veteran and defending dirt carts seniors track champion, comes from behind to win the Independence Day main. Buck Blair leads out of the blocks in this Pro 500 heat race. Buck Blair, survivor of the multiple flip and bounce spill that serves as the signature video clip of wheel-to-wheel racing excitement this season. Daniel Bennett, black 29, undisputed Pro 500 leader, challenged out of the blocks by John Aiden, white 7, in this Speedway Sprint 500 heat race. On the restart, black 766 with bright pink trim is Bobby Taylor out of Laguna Hills. Daniel Bennett, standard operating procedure, staying low on the inside through turn 4, then bolting out in front and pulling away. Daniel Bennett, 31-year-old out of Grand Junction, Colorado, 2015 Rookie of the Year and Restrictor Plate Champion. Last season, his first in the Pro 500 class, he won the track championship. Restrictor Plate class, Austin Brundage, bright yellow 3, begins this day determined to regain his season points lead. The Apple Valley 13-year-old is defending Restrictor class track champ. But this Independence Day heat race belongs to Blue 78, Kevin Oshens. This Apple Valley teenager won his first restrictor class main event at Wheel to Wheel Raceway's Firecracker Spectacular last year on the 4th of July. These are the Mini Dwarfs Juniors making their track debut at Wheel to Wheel this season. Make note of the light blue 6, bright yellow 6, that's Tyler Blankenship, who will help his Bakersfield team leave this day $100 richer than when they arrived. This is the Mini Dwarfs Challenge, the leader of the Bakersfield team challenging wheel-to-wheel drivers to an impromptu winner-take-all face-off. The $100 payday goes to Bakersfield's Tyler Blankenship in his light blue Mini Dwarf with the bright yellow 6. 8-year-old Trent Rickel of Bakersfield finishes second in his black 22. The main event, 9 challengers to Daniel Bennett's attempt to make it 8 consecutive Pro 500 main event victories. 39 inside pole, Buck Blair, who said the only way to beat Daniel Bennett would be to puncture his tires. Buck Blair, in fact, Daniel Bennett's mentor, who got the track champ started in racing at Wheel to Wheel. Inside, row 2, John Aiden, behind Daniel Bennett, Austin Brundage, yellow 3. Buck Blair bursts ahead out of the straightaway. Daniel Bennett wide through turn 2, calibrating the line he'll get to at the start. John Aiden in hot pursuit. Daniel Bennett cuts down to the inside line. Coming into turn 4, it takes Daniel Bennett all of 1 lap to overtake Buck Blair and pull out in front on the straightaway, but the tire-throwing turn claims its first casualties of the Pro 500 main when Randy Oshens, 77, gets tangled up with Brian Struter, white 10. Restart. Daniel Bennett crosses under referee Dwayne Oro's green flag and sails away, nailing down his preferred inside line once he gets into and out of turn 4. This restart has Buck Blair in second, Brian Struter in third. Once ahead and out in front, though, the only hope the challengers have is for a spin out and yellow flag calling for a restart to narrow the gap between them and Daniel Bennett. Austin Brundage and 766, Laguna Hills' Bobby Taylor here. Daniel Bennett's checkered gives him 53 season points. The Intermediates Racing. It contains all the elements that make wheel-to-wheel racing exciting and entertaining for us fans, keenly competitive and vigorously challenging for the drivers. Ricky Simpson, red 29, is the season points leader. Ricky Simpson, Apple Valley 10-year-old. Junior Gregory, black 40, only car not mud spattered, testimony to his first lap lead in this first of many restarts. Junior Gregory, the Victorville 12-year-old. The first checkered flag of the day taken by Sean Rogers, mud-splattered 2. Sean Rogers, the Riverside 10-year-old, who was last season's Rookie of the Year in the Intermediates class. Intermediates are the youngest or least experienced drivers at Wheel to Wheel. 16 intermediates race this day, an outstanding turnout on this Independence Day. Bright White 1, the Bandit, is 9-year-old Braden Miller Bushy, racing out of Riverside. Stevie Rogers, in her black 3R, wins this heat race. Stevie Rogers, 13-year-old, also out of Riverside, has been racing since she was 5. She is second in season points behind Ricky Simpson. Intermediates Main, 12 cars. The full field creates a handful of bump and runs and minor collisions and an overabundance of restarts. Trent Johnson, white 7, in the lead on the first restart. Trent Johnson, the youngest racer to ever win a wheel-to-wheel main. That was 4 years back when Trent Johnson was 6. Ricky Simpson, sharp left turn at turn 4, takes him into Sean Rogers. Stevie Rogers takes her turn leading on this restart. Stevie Rogers, 3A, pole position on the next restart, leading until Charlie Sabers nudges her sister-in-arms aside, coming into the home stretch.
Stevie Rogers' turns for the worse continue when she gets tangled up with 10, Braden Struder. 6th restart. Stevie Rogers back in front. Charlie Sabers right behind. Black 55 is Sky Farrell. Charlie Sabers overtakes Stevie Rogers on the backstretch, and the two go toe-to-toe until the Apple Valley 13-year-old pulls away. Charlie Sabers takes the checkered from the Uncle Sam Distant Nephew track official and runs her victory lap. Her first Intermediates main victory of the 2017 season. She is in her 5th season racing wheel to wheel.
Wheel-to-wheel race fans gasp and hold their breath as trackmaster John Aiden goes airborne in the Pro 500 main at the Firecracker Derby. The crash takes John Aiden out of the main event. John Aiden has traditionally reigned at the Firecracker Derby. John Aiden 7, John Wilborn Camo 11, and the Dark Knight 39 Buck Blair battle start to finish in the first of the Pro 500 heat races. John Aiden won 5 previous Firecracker Derby main events. The 5-time track champion outduels Buck Blair in this heat race on a night that sees intense and sometimes heated racing among the fastest and most experienced Speedway Sprint drivers. John Aiden races to the checkered in his first race of the day. 11 racers are lined up for the main event. Pro 500 season points leader John Alonso, 99, in the pole position. The Firecracker Derby Pro 500 main gets off to a startling start when veteran Brian Struder goes airborne 1 lap in. Like John Aiden, Brian Struder is stirred but not badly shaken, escaping uninjured. Daniel Smithson is a Pro 500 rookie, racing on his 4th of July birthday. The restrictor plate track champion from a year ago is turning in his best day of racing of the season as he turns 61 years old, here winning his first heat race of the day. Racing out of Costa Mesa, Newport Beach, Daniel Smithson roars to the checkered in the main, moving into 3rd place in season points with 32 points behind 2nd place Bobby Taylor, 14 and back of season points leader John Alonso.
But tonight everything went my way. You know, there was a couple accidents and I got lucky out there, but sometimes that's what you need to win, and I needed it. I did a lot of work on my car the last 2 weeks, so I'm pretty happy right now.
The youngest race car drivers, the Intermediates, run the first main event of the Firecracker Derby. 13 have qualified for the main. It will be Braden Struder in his white tan with blue number racing to the checkered. The victory pulling him within 2 points of season points leader Jaden Manchester. The 11-year-old Braden Struder is from Murrieta. He also races in the restrictor plate class. Restrictor Plate Main. Season points leader Justin Taylor, 33, overtakes Will Brown in the final lap to take the checkered. JT, 19-year-old son of veteran Bobby Taylor, builds his season points lead to 8 points over 2nd place Trent Johnson. The Taylors race out of Laguna Hills. Justin Taylor was Restrictor Plate Rookie of the Year last season. Greenback $ Cash Colt, the 9-year-old racing out of Nuevo, is the season points leader in Dirt Karts Juniors. 11-year-old Lydia Brown, white 16, is 2nd. This is the first junior Dirt Karts heat race of the day. It will be won by Cole Brown, white 11, 9-year-old brother of Lydia. They race out of Glendora. It will be Cash Colt standing atop the podium once the dust is cleared and the dirt stops flying in the Dirt Karts Junior main event. Dax Rucker finishes 2nd. Nicknamed Penguin, Cash Colt delights the large contingent of Cash Colt fans and followers by adding a couple of spins in his victory lap. Cash Colt also races in the Intermediates class. Dirt Karts Senior, Gary Beeson in white 44 wins when Daisy Blaylock 17 spins in the Dirt Karts Seniors main. First checkered flag in the main this season for the just turned 63-year-old out of Apple Valley. This is Gary Beeson's first year racing dirt karts at Wheel to Wheel.
A marathon intermediates main, repeat performances atop the podium for restrictor plate and Pro 500 season points leaders, the debut of mini bikes on the 1/8 mile oval, and spunky Norma Weatherby's victory in the K100 Dirt Karts main among the highlights of Wheel to Wheel's Firecracker Derby, played out before the biggest crowd of racing fans this season. 12 intermediates start the main. The Firecracker Derby begins with 6 young drivers within 6 points of each other atop the season points total. The event is marred by half a dozen restarts and 2 disqualifications. Jaden Manchester maintains his lead to capture the checkered. The 9-year-old veteran explains the winning formula.
You didn't run out of energy, did you? That was a long race.
Yeah. I just started in first and I just held my line.
The checkered puts Jaden Manchester ahead in season points with 44. Stevie Simpson is in second with 38. Jake Adams in third, 9 points out of first. There are some wheel-to-wheel near certainties on July 4th. Among them, Trackmeister Iceman John Ayton is all but unbeatable in the Pro 500 main. John Ayton starts third row inside, white 7, alongside John Alonzo, white 99. Kenny Perkins is the pole, Justin Taylor outside front row, his dad Bobby Taylor behind him. White 59 is rookie Justin Adams. By the third lap, John Ayton has taken the lead. The closer battle pitches Bobby Taylor and John Alonzo fighting it out for second place. John Alonzo in his 13th season racing wheel-to-wheel. Twice he has been Pro 500 track champ. Bobby Taylor, former NHRA Top Alcohol Dragster World Champion from Laguna Hills. Bobby Taylor winds up taking second in the main, John Alonzo third. The 47-year-old wheel-to-wheel proprietor's third straight Firecracker Derby main triumph increases his season points lead to 17 over Bobby Taylor. John Alonzo in third in season points. In the restrictor plate class, Stevie Rogers outlasts Ricky Simpson and builds her lead to 12 points in season totals, 4th consecutive checkered in the restrictor main for the 15-year-old from Riverside. Bear with the dropped frames in the interview when she's asked whether it is tough to maintain motivation race after race.
You're kind of like the queen of the dirt track right now, and challengers are dropping off. But is it tough, or does the adrenaline take care of itself?
Sometimes it gets a little tough, sometimes it's okay, but the adrenaline does keep me going. Really fun.
Heidi Jo Erickson Culp wins the Dirt Karts Senior Main, giving her a 3 points lead over Blaine Kuhn in season points. Stefan Langstrip wins the inaugural Mini Bikes Main among 7 racers in their wheel-to-wheel debut. Cameron Simpson goes to the top of the podium after winning the Intermediates Juniors main. Alex Edsel second, Robbie Simpson third. Cash Culp adds to his unsurmountable lead in season points among Dirt Kart Juniors. The closest of the Firecracker Derby main events is the KT100 main. Norma Weatherby overtakes closest season points challenger Boo Lee and then holds on to outlast Cash Culp with a close finish at the checkered. The youngest at heart of the KT100 racers, Norma Weatherby had not won either of the KT100 heat races, and she had to withstand the tongue-in-cheek accusation of sandbagging earlier in the day.
Weren't you sandbagging today?
No.
That was the greatest exhibit of sandbagging I've ever seen.
No, we have had demons and we got them right for the main.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Terry.
Norma Weatherby's perch atop the podium gives her a 6-point lead over just moved into second Cash Culp. Boo Lee is in third with 48 season points. This year's Firecracker Derby drew the biggest crowd of racing fans thus far this season. Racing returns to Wheel July 20th for the 9th night of racing in the 16-event championship series. Bid fast and last. Sold on supporting high desert sports. Bid fast and last. Liquidation of government entities, vehicles, firearms, estates, antiques, fine jewelry, coins, and more. Bid online at bidfastandlast.com.
Ready to kick tires, start fires, kick ass, take names, and rock and roll.
Terry Kurtz Online was brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville on the corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Road.
Bid fast and last. Sold on supporting high desert sports.
Midway Home Solutions in Victorville. Deagle and Don always has discount prices on appliances, mattresses, home furnishings, and electronics. Valu Quality Truck Body. Family owned and operated since 1954. The Bradco Companies, our area's longest standing full service commercial brokerage firm. Iwanzak Law Firm. Trial lawyers for serious problems. And by the Community Table Restaurant in the Holiday Inn in Victorville. The Holiday Inn, favored destination for travelers and visitors to the Victor Valley. Joseph W. Brady offers a $5,000 reward for arrest and conviction of whoever stole mail from his Victorville post office box.
For those that have not heard this, our post office box has been broken into 4 times since June of last year, including February of this year, okay? I'm not the only one that it wasn't necessarily targeted towards me, but we believe that twice of the times that it happened, the postmaster might have been out of town. So a couple of these, one of them they believe happened during broad daylight. So I'm going to sweeten the pie to figure this thing out. My wife and I, Deborah K. Brady, will offer a reward of $5,000. It's pretty simple. They got to be arrested, they've got to be convicted, and they've got to be given time. And it's got to be for my mail in my P.O. box. P.O. box easy to find. And you know what? I think for $5,000, you're going to see some people roll over on people. Because you know what? And not only did I get it, we apparently had a bunch of boxes about the same time in February broken into at Springvale Lake. So this is an ongoing problem. What I think, Terry, is despicable, okay, is that we only have 4 people in the Inland Empire, according to one of the postal inspectors I talked to back in August. We only have 4 postal people that are trying to catch the bad guys working in the entire Inland Empire.
Doesn't the Victorville post office have cameras?
Terry, they do, and they have some imagery. I'll just say this, that they're probably putting in cameras that will never be seen by anybody, and they might be in places that they would never even think about. Okay, so I encourage anybody that if you know who it is, Terry will put my cell number up there. Text me, because I'm not answering any numbers that I don't have in my phone, and my email. And if the person is arrested, convicted, and found to have taken our mail, and I know Sheriff John McMahon is trying desperately to be sure things like this don't happen to me and everybody else. There is absolutely no excuse for it. But I have a feeling that the next time these people come back, they might be in for a really big surprise. And you never know where it's going to be. But they've been pretty good about assuring me.
We need to get
and
our
we've
control
talked
over
about
monetary policy,
some ideas.
If
I'm not going to
out
get
of
into the
control,
postal
we're all going to pay a price.
security business.
I mean, it doesn't
just
matter
what your
it's
political
just
affiliation is, where you go to church, what kind of car you drive, your house. Everybody will pay for this deal. So.
Terry Kurtz here, throwing out an invitation for you to catch up with High Desert Sports Activities. Your High Desert Sports Report, showing 3 times every day on Victor Valley TV. 7 and 11 every morning, 4 every afternoon.
What time is it, sports fan? It's time for your High Desert Sports Report.
Your half-hour High Desert Sports Report, the area's only video action highlights coverage of high school athletes, teams, and sports programs, Victor Valley College Rams, and Barstow College Vikings athletic events. We hope you'll join us right here on Victor Valley TV. Terry Kurtz Online was brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville on the corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Road. Bid fast and last. Sold on supporting high desert sports. Midway Home Solutions in Victorville. Deagle and Don always has discount prices on appliances, mattresses, home furnishings, and electronics. Valu Quality Truck Body. Family owned been operated since 1954. The Bradco Companies, our area's longest-standing full-service commercial brokerage firm. Ewanzak Law Firm, trial lawyers for serious problems. And by the Community Table Restaurant in the Holiday Inn in Victorville. The Holiday Inn, favored destination for travelers and visitors to the Victor Valley. Terry Kurtz here online. Thank you for watching.